TV. Oromoo TV.
Nafarawa miti sedametu mamun kayo kiya miti bitametu romun amal bonjiru na dunia kanara dubatin debiyo tapso venentura amal bonjiru na dunia kanara dubatin debiyo tapso venentura. Makamba tu mana lupumba tu waya duri murde pate tune kayo tiya belawe de bode meda mejeratu sabako gurgure angamone jaratu saganta kayo galeba esmana nabab kabshirkate nabab biliena kayong ko sanamit nijanong ko kana hawing ko sanamit nijanong ko kana Nafarawa miti sedametu mamun kayo kiya miti bitametu romun amal bonjiru na dunia kanara dubatin debiyo kapso venentura amal bonjiru na dunia kanara dubatin debiyo kapso venentura. Makamba tu mana lupumba tu waya duri murde pate tune kayo tiya belawe de bode meda mejeratu sabako gurgure an gamone jaratu saganta de kayo galeba esmana labab karshirkate nabab biliena kayong ko sanamit nijanong ko kana hawing ko sanamit nijanong ko kana gotan lupu kenan ngore kama kamna biya falmuturi kuma tamakamna gotan lupu kenan ngore game kamna biya falmuturi kuma tamakamna herbo sabasene wada wajin kamna nakamin soramu lami gurgurana Akom pete lulus nilikim sahada dia ko gurgure anu wana wabadada samiko najibe senan turayura daloni wangari nakadalu nurra
uftani rabbi nagasini haken Aye, waka umama, waka bukku gurracha, waka ciico gurratti, waka sagaltama garba, waka salgam boorana, yaa ummata Oromooti nagaa kenni, Rabbi nagaa kenni, Waaqayyo nagaa kenni, diina nurraa kaasi, an Oromoo yaadu yaa Rabbi tumsa ta'iif itti nuu guuti. Gooma taanu keejjaa baasi warra albee lamaa nu keechaa baasi, warra albee Oromootti qaratu nu keechaa baasi, nu keechaa doomsi, Oromoo wal jaalachiisi, Oromoo wal jaalachiisi, qeerroo keenyaa nagaa kenni, qarree keenyaa nagaa kenni. Yaa ummata Oromoo dheengadda Naqamtetti waan ta'e hin dhageechanii. Qeerroo nama 5 aan odoo waa tokko hin balleessin manaa baasanii rasaasan daaraa isaan godhanii akka maatiin irreen awwaalamne godhanii. Kuni waan tokko malee isaan duwwaa miti yeroo ammaa kana handumaa jiru. Qalbeeffadhaa, jabaadhaa, diinni albee nutti qarachaa jira. Diina kana ofirraa kaasuuf wal cimsinee harka wal qabannee wal jala yaanee waan nurraa barbaadamu qeerroo keenyaaf qarree keenya ummata Oromoo maraaf afaan gurra sagalee taanee yoo cimsine malee dubbiin nutti deemaa jirtu kuni xinnoo hammaattuu fakkaatti. Yoo Oromoon tokko ta'ee cimse hammeenya ishii daaraa goonee daaraa godhanii ofirraa balleessuu waan danda'amuuf Rabbi Oromoo cimina kenni, Waaqa Oromoo cimina kenni. Yaa Waaqni nu wajjin ijjadhu, yaa Rabbi nu gargaari. Warra qophii kana qopheesse dubartoota Oromoo an biyya Minisootaa Oromoo xinnitti kana qopheessu isaanii fakkii guddaadha. Ummata kana walitti qabanii akka mari'atan, akka haasofsiisan, akka wal eebbisan godhuun isaanii waan guddaadha. Rabbi isaanii nagaa haa kennu, nagaa haa kennu. Dubartoota keenyaa Rabbi nagaa haa kennu. Warrumti manatti hafanirree waan kana mirmatanii harka wal qabatanii waa tokko akka hojjetan Rabbi isaan haa cimsu, Rabbi isaan haa cimsu. Waan kanatti hambaaftan immoo Rabbi bakka isinii haa buusu, Waaqni bakka isinii haa buusu. Egaa Rabbi hanafee Waaqni itti haa guutu, haa jabaannu, haa wal jabeessu. Nu galatooma.
In kadhannaa yaa Waaqayyoo Waaqarra kan jiraattu lafa kanarratti waan ta'u hundumaa kan beektu kan argitu yaa Waaqayyoo gooftummaa hundumaa harka kee keessatti qabattee kan jirtu yeroo kana si kadhanna yaa Waaqayyoo daballee si kadhanna kaleessas baroota darbanis si kadhanneerra nu dhageessee waan baay'ee deebisteetta ammas nu dhageessa hin deebifta ati gurra namaaf kennitee ofii kee Waaqayyo gurra hin qabne miti kan dhageessu kan deebiftudha yaa Waaqayyo har'as nu dhagayi nuuf deebisi yaa Waaqayyo irree kee biyya keenya irratti ol kaasi gidiraa saba keenya yaa Waaqayyo maqaa Yesuus Kiristoosin gara dhumaatti fidi humna gadi nu qabu humna yaa Waaqayyo saba keenya dargaggoota keenya karaadhaa deebisaa jiru maqaa Yesuus Kiristoosin kaasi biyya keenya irraa kaasi dargaggoota keenya irraa garbummaa gadi nu qabuudhaaf hojjetaa jiru maqaa Yesuusin irree keetiin nurraa kaasi bilisummaa saba keenyaaf nu fidi yaa Waaqayyo ati si kadhanna yeroo asitti qabnu hundumaa nuuf eebbisi obboloota dadhabanii hojii kana hojjetanii ati eebbisi galanni siif haa ta'u maqaa Yesuusiin ameen. Haleluuyaa.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa man wala wa ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May be the peace of God be upon all of you. I was told to supplicate in Afan Inglifa or in English, which is I have never done it, but also I haven't done it. I'll try my best, inshallah. Yeroo hedduu afaanuma keenya waan du'aa warraa tureef amala natti ta'e maalifaan irra hedduu ijoolleen biyya keenyaa tuni beekaa diddaa keessatti qaba ingiliffaadhaan itti haasa'uu diduu kana maaliif ummanni Somaalee yoo gartan dirqumaan afaan ofiitiin du'aa'is waan hundaan ofan ofiitiin godhan. Kuni ol aantummaa osoo hin taanetti eenyummaa kee jabeessurraa. And dear respected elders from Oromo community and also outside of Oromo communities, I see so many faces from different communities in here, and also the senators. On behalf of Muslim community, I would like to say thank you for what you have done for Oromo communities without any hesitation, tirelessly day and night, for mourning with us, for coming with us and chanting on the street and at Capitol Hill. I would love to thank you for all beautiful works that you have done for our community. Thank you very much. Let me start the prayer. This prayer it's highly recommended to do this prayer in Arabic, especially when we're suffering. Allahumma farrij hammana wa hamma ummati Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, which means, O Allah, improve the state of the world, the state of our community. O Allah, I would love everybody to say Amen, if you could, inshallah. O Allah, grant ease to the Oromo and nationality. O Allah, have mercy upon us. Peace and blessing be upon all of us. Allahumma farrij hamma al-mahmumin. O Allah, grant and relieve and ease to those distressed from the Oromo community and non-Oromos. O Allah, grant relief, ease to Oromos and Oromia. O Lord, by holding on your most gracious rope, we bind it to our face and not it to our hope. So stand for us today. Don't counter what we try. Forsake of us not, O Lord. By blinking of an eye, we are powerless to stop this onslaught of their force. O Allah, we seek no good except what flows from your wide door, and yearn for grace that comes from your unending more. Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala ummata keenya faadirmatu. Rabbi jabeenya isaatiin, Rabbi mootii mootota, mootii addunyaa kan ta'e abbaa haqaa, abbaa dhugaa, Rabbi haadha Oromoo keessatti booyaa jirtu imimmaan isii Rabbi irraa haqu. Gumaa ummata keenya Rabbi haa kafalu. Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala waraana nuti hin garreen nuti hin beekne Rabbi haa dirmatuuf. Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala bara dhufu bilisummaa qabaatee warra waliin gammadu, warra waliin asitti bohoree biyyattillee waltajjii akkanaa gammachuudhaaf gaggeessu Rabbi nu haa taasisu. Bara hunda warra imimmaan walirraa haquu miti, gammachuu imimmaanii walirraa haqu Rabbi nu haa taasisu. Walii nu haa galchu, alaa nu haa galchu, beekaa keenya nu keessa haa tursiisu, wallaalaa keenya if haa beeksisu, xiqqaa keenya haa guddisu, dubartii teenya utubaa manaatii fi utubaa biyyaa tan taates Rabbi nu keessatti umrii fayyaa haa tursiisu. Rabbi wal haa jaalachiisu. Rabbi akka kenniisatti waliin nu taasisee waliin nu haa deemsisu. Rabbi zaalima nurraa haa cabsu. Ummata keenya kan naqamtetti ajjeefame saniif dhiiga isaaniitiif Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala haa dirmatu. Qeesii tokkollee arra ajjeesan jechuu dhagahaa jira. Dhugaa taatee kijiba taatee hin beeku. I'm not sure if it is confirmed or not. Yoo isin beetanii jiraattan dhiiga isaa Rabbi haa baasu. Dhiiga ulamaa keenya Rabbi haa baasu. Dhiiga imaamota keenya Rabbi haa baasu. Rabbi subhanahu wa ta'ala Oromoo afaan takko haa godhu. Oromoo afaan tokko haa godhu. Oromoo yaada isii takka haa godhu. Oromoo nu keessaa bitamte Rabbi nu keessatti haa deebisu. Oromoo nu keessaa if wallaalte Rabbi if haa beeksisu. Yaa Rabbi si kadhanne waywaata keenya dhagee. Yaa Rabbi addaan nu facaasinee waliin nu qabi. galatoomaa keessattuu waltajjii kana warri dhiheessan ulfaadhaa galatoomaa wasallillaahu ala nabiina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'iin.
Baay'ee galatooma. Thank you for coming officials again. Thank you for our religious leaders. We're grateful. As we celebrate, we are mourning for our young people, for our Keros. 5 of them died, killed by government security in Ethiopia. Right now, we're going to take a moment of silence, remembering these young people dying for nothing but for being Oromo. So we're going to take a moment in silence, remembering them. Yeroo kana akkuma gammadaa jirru akkasuma ijoolleen keenya qeerroon keenya ijoolleen 5 Naqamteetti du'anii jiru. Kanaaf yeroo kana yeroo fudhannaa 5 seconds for each of them. Let's be silent, please. Remember, these are our kids. These are our brothers. These are future leaders. They have a mother. They have a brother. They have a father. They have a sibling. Let's remember. Yaadanna ijoollee kana. Callifna. Ijoolleen kun ijoollee keenya. Obboloota keenya. Ilmaan keenya. Haadha qabu. Abbaa qabu. Obboleessa obboleettii qabu. Lammii boo'uuf qabu. Yaadanna. Galatoma. Thank you. On behalf of Oromoo women of Minnesota, I would like to thank you again for coming. And I'm going to have Ade Dursitu, Ade Tadu, Ade Asha come here to welcome you.
Thank you, Lelo. Harka Fune, akkam jirtan. I hope everybody's doing well. On behalf of the Oromo women of Minnesota and our community, we would like to thank every one of you for coming tonight. As Oromos, we place a huge emphasis on guests, so thank you for being here this evening. I would like to say a big thank you to our committee members. Some of them, as you can see, are on the stage, but some of them are dispersed in the crowd. I'd like to say thank you to them, and I'd also like to say thank you to our senators, our representatives, our leaders, and law enforcement for always standing in solidarity with our people. And lastly, a big, huge thank you to our community for continued efforts in Oromia and around the world for being the voice for the Oromo and other oppressed nations. For a long time, as many of us know, Oromos have been subjugated to gross human rights violations. Just these past few weeks, the Ethiopian government has brutally killed a young pregnant woman. They killed 3 young teenage boys who were peacefully protesting in Oromia cities such as Machara and Robe. They killed a young boy in Haramaya to the point where his face is distorted. You cannot recognize him. And just yesterday, 5 young men in the city of Naqamte who were sitting and conversating, just trying to live a normal daily life, were brutally killed by this Ethiopian government. So with great sadness, I say, this is an everyday reality for the Oromo people. So we come together today to remember these innocent souls and advocate for their rights. I will end it here as tonight we have many presentations, and I look forward to hearing from the rest of you this evening. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming, senators. And we have a special guest today. Thank you for your time and giving us a time. You know, we know that we have a very busy schedule, but you still find a way, and thank you. We're really grateful to have you here. Undumti keessan baga nagaan dhuftanii waan baay'een jedhameera waan hin jedhu baay'een qabu garuu baga nagaan dhuftanii eebbifamaa isin jechuu barbaanna. Nagaan.
Assalamu alaikum. Akkam ooltan. Keessummoota keenya baga nagaan nu dhuftanii hedduu ulfaadha. Dhugaa waaniin dubbadullee hedduun qabu. Isinuma galatoonfachuudhaa fi warra osoo asin dhufin dhugaa qophii tan oguu qopheessinuu nuti bakka guddoodha barbaanne garuu akka carraa sababa COVID kanaaf bakka guddoo arkachuu hin dandeenye. Tanaafuu jarri kunillee mana guddaa qaban nu duratti namni biraa qabatee sanumaaf gaa kana duraan nama 360 fuudha. Garuu amma nama 160 qofa nu fayyaman. Tanaafuu nama hunda akka barbaannetti yaamuu hin dandeenye jechuu barbaadeeti. Warri mana hafeelleen fuuldura qophii fakkaattu akkanaa qopheessinee akka carraa gaarii waliin dabarsinu abdiin qaba. Isin warri ammoo yaamiinsa keenya dhageessanii nu dhuftan hedduu ulfaadhaa galatoomaa galanni keessan bilisummaa haa ta'uun isiniin jaa. Tabiraati gaajara keenya wanni dubbatan waa hedduudha. Keessummoota hedduudha qabnaa warra qophii adda addaa nu qophaawee haasawa seenaa Oromoo irraas ta'ee haala ammaan tan Oromiyaan keessa jirtu uummanni keenya keessa jiru haala gaddisiisaa gocha ilma namaa irratti raawwatamuu hin qabne gocha suukanneessaa irraan tan akkana jaanii irraa dubbachuun nama gaddisiisu hundaatu jira san waliinuu beekna wanni haareenni asitti waliif himnu hin jiru. Miidiyaan babal'atee namuu haga tokko numa harkaa jechuu barbaadeeti. Tanaafuu keessummoota keenya katti aanutti isin dabarsinaa qophii adda addaa qabnaa nu wajji turaa isiniin jennaa dhufuu keessaniif ulfaadhaa galatooma.
Thank you again. She was just saying that we try to accommodate everyone, but we have a limited space. For everyone to come and join and say thank you to you guys for your support during this hard time. If you see me, I keep wiping it. It's doing diligence, doing our part to protect ourselves. So we make sure to have our masks on. Of maski kesan kawada adara. We don't want anyone to get sick after this. So thank you. And next, I would like to invite Master Hassan to come and tell us about Oromo's history. Master Hassan.
Akkam nagaa waliin jennu fayyaa qabdanii yende fayyaa ol gaafachuun immoo dirqama yeroo dhukkuba waan taateef fayyaa qabdanii isin hundi baga wal garree wanni dubbachuu deemu waa lamarraa hin dubbadha wanni dubbadhu tun immoo hawaasaas taa'u kana qofa osoo hin ta'in hawaasa fooddaadhaan nu ilaalaa jiruufillee ergaa akka taatu dhaloota keenyaaf hortee nu booda dhuftuuf ergaa akka taatu fi waadhaan madda waan xiqqoo takka. Oromoo jechuun maali? Oromiyaanoo maali? Eessa? Gaafii lamaan tana qofa. Oromoo jechuun maali? Oromiyaan eessa? Waan joorraa hin dubbadhu. Oromiyaan biyya. Biyya Oromooti. Oromiyaanii guddinnisii dhiifamaa deero. Guddinnisii kaaree kiiloomeetira 600 Oromiyaan. Oromiyaan guddinaan Faransaay, Xaaliyaan, Switzerlandii fi Beeljiyeem yoo walitti ida'an Oromiyaa hin gahan. Biyyi afran Awurooppaatu yoo walii ida'amtellee Oromiyaan geessu. Oromiyaan tana xiqqeessa nuti immoo biyyaa jennee falmanna. Oromiyaan tana kaabaan uummata Agaw, Amaaraa fi Tigreedhaan marfamti. Kibbaan Keeniyaa fi Soomaaliyaa
ummata kibbaatiin marfamti. Bahaan Afaarii fi Somaaleedhaan marfamti. Dhihaan immoo Benishaangul, Gaambeellaa fi Suudaaniin marfamti Oromiyaan. Hanqana himachuu danda'u qaba dhaloonni keenya Oromiyaan maalii gaafa jenne jechuudha. Oromoon maalii gaafa jenne immoo Oromoon nama tokko horteen Oromoo jedhamtu tun hundinuu irraa dhufti. Inni ilma xabbooti. Oromoo haxabbooti. Xabboo, waaqoo, daadhii, uttee, bittee, walaabu, jillicha. Dawaarii, oofaa, sharaa, haad, rooboo, doorii, xabboo, moormoor, maamma, warar, waayif, dhawda, marri, galaan, waadoo, shunkur, jeebu, battaan, nawbaan kana biyyallah nuuri. Nabinuu lamaak yarat khamakleel, makleel khaanuk, anuk khaanush, anush khashiis, shiis khaadam, aadam biyyeen ta bishaaniitii yaa Oromoon. Bishaan san Oromoon walaabu jee yaama maqaa qabaaf. Bishaan san irraa addunyaan tun hundi uumamtee jee yaammata jechuudha Oromoon. Hidda qaba haala kaawwatu jechuudha Oromoo gisee jennu. Hawaasa kan Oromoon kun ummata bal'aa ummata jireenya isaa keessatti kaalendara mataa isaa tumatee seera mataa isaa bulmaata mataa isaa tumatee jiraatu. Osoo addunyaan gaafa ilma namaa gabra godhattu haga irratti Oromoon gabra ni gabroomee nama gabroonfatee beeku gabratti illee nama Oromoon lolallee yoo deebi'e yoo nama booji'e ilma godhata malee gabran godhatu. Obbaleessa jee maxxanfataa bara. Ammallee hawaasni keessa jiru obbaleessuma innami. Obbaleessa jechuun yoom dhaloota qofaa obbaleessa jechuun ilma biyyaa cufa gaafa ja'an shantam jubbisaan faan ilma biyyaa cufa ilma namaa hundaan obbaleessa ja'a Oromoon. Wanni adda godhu kopha jira jechuudha malee sammuu qaamaan ilmi namaa obbalee waan jirutti amana Oromoon. So fakkeenyaaf Oromoon kaalendara tumatee aduu laalee ji'a laalee guyyaa lakkaawwata. Oromoon torbaan afur qaba. Baatiin takka guyyaa torbaan afur qabdiimi. Torbaan duraa dhaloota ja'an. Torbaan lammeessaa addeessa ja'an. Torbaan sadeessaa goobana ja'an. Torbaan afureessaa dukkana ja'an. Torbaan afuranuu maqaa danda'e qaba Oromoo biratti. Akkasuma torbaan duraa amma dhaloota kajannu kun guyyaa torba. Guyyaa torban kanaan torbaan ja'a Oromoon yeroo yaamu. Guyyaan torban duraa fakkeenyaaf bitoo, taalboojii, buusan, koba jireessa, alkaajima, wa'inaa fi irfi. Kan amma dhaloota ja'an Oromoon. Basa duraa, basa boodaa, carrootaa, qara salbaanaa dureetii, dullattii. Kuni torbaan lammeessaati. Addeessa ja'an. Torbaan sadeessaa qardaaduma kurbicha. Soonsa, ruruma, lumaasaa, ruwaadaa, qadaadana jeeti torbaan sadeessaati kunis goobana ja'an jechuu. Torbaan afureessaa thank you galatooma. Torbaan afureessaa dukkanaa ja'an. Qara areerii bal'oo, adulaa kormaa, adulaa jabbii, arba goobaa, geebaticha garbadeettii ja'an. Torbaan afureessuu akkasitti maqaa qabeef guyyaan tokko ha guyyaa tokkotti hin deebine halkan jiru kana hundaafuu Oromoo mataa danda'e qaba jechuudha. Maqaa danda'e qaba. Kuni dhaloota keenya qabeenya keenya kadhalli laalu jiruu fi kadha geeffatullee beekuu qaba walii dhaamuu qabnu jechuudha. Kana waan keenyaa kajannuun nuti. Akkanatti guyyaallee addamratti guyyaan rabbii kunillee adda ciccirama Oromoo biratti sizinallee badheessa ganna birraa fi bona je'ee yeroo afuran jechuudha. Spring, fall, winter fi samara keessaan ja'an jechuudha. Adda baafatee qaba. Kuni qarooma Oromoon duraan qabaachuu ture garsiisee jechuudha. Namni tokko an Oromoo gaafa jee Oromoon maali? Oromiyaa biitiiti gaafa jee Oromiyaan eessaa himachuu danda'uu qaba jechuu barbaadeeti gabaabdutti. Oromoo jechuun Oromoo ni beektanii filter godhu qulqulleessuu jechuudha. Qulqullu Oromoo jechuun qulqullu jechuudha. Akkuma Soomaalee jechuun Soomaal irraa ilmoo jechuun miikaansa. Wayyaanee gaafa jettu goote jechuudha afaan isaaniitti. Sanii qalama wayyaalee jaan Oromoo wallootiin isaan raayyaan jechuudha. Sigalte qulqullu ni Oromeessa goja ni qulqulleessee jaa. Sigalte himachuu danda'uu qabna. Oromoon akkaataa itti himatus beekuu qaba. Ani maali an Oromoo gaafaan jee Oromoon maali Oromiyaan maali waan jiru irratti waa hedduu haasa'uu dandeenya. Fakkeenyaaf Oromiyaan qabeenya bishaan laggeen gurguddaa qabdi akka Abbayyaa, Hawaas, Gibee gurguddaa qabdi laggeen akka Gibee haroo qabdi haroo xixiqqishoo ammas. Sigalte haroolee akka Laangaanoo, Abjaataa, Zuwaay, Haramaayaa, Araaddeellee, Harayaa Abataa sigalte haroolee hedduu maqaa dha'uun ni danda'ama. Gaarreen isii amma gaarreen akka gaara mul'ata Harargeetti argamu, gaara Baatuu ka Baaleetti argamu, gaara Gaarii ka Arsiitti argamu, gaara Walal ka Wallaggeetti argamu. Qabeenya Oromoo gurguddaa bineensarraa akka arbaa, leenca, qeereensa, sattawwaa, weenni, qalamee, yeeyyii waraabessaan qabi. Hundinuu yeeyyiin jeedalli diimtuun Oromiyaa qofatti argamti ni beektanii kana addunyaarraa jeedalli diimtuun qabeenya Oromiyaati. Himachuu danda'uu qabna jechuudha. Alaan ala qofa osoo hin ta'in maalummaa fi beekuu waan guddaadha. Maaliif yeroo hedduu wanni ani jedhu maali? Waan beektu wallaalii waan jootan dhiyeessuu qabna nuti. Wanni beeknu waan qabeenya qabnu kana waan ta'eef Oromummaan nutiif jireenya keenya. Waa hundi Oromummaa booda nutiif. So Oromummaa tana waan madaalluun hin qabnu Oromoon wanni tokko jennuunifis tokkorraa waan dhufee lakkaawwatuufi. Wantoonni amma hime kuni akka xiqqaatti waa laalamu miti namni immoo afaanitti warra as taa'ee dhageeffachuu jirus warri foddaa televizyiinaatti ilaalu jirus dhalootaaf dabarsee dhaloonni ilmaan keenya beekuu danda'uu qaba waan kana. Oromoon akkamii guyyaa lakkaawwata, akkamii torbaan lakkaawwata, qabeenyi isaa maali, qaroomni Oromoo maali, akkamitti addunyaa tana beekaa Oromoon. Waa hedduu jira sirna gadaa qaba Oromoon. Gadaa duratti sirna akkootii ture, dhalaaleedhaaniif bulchuu ture. Sirna san fixeeti bira kutee sirna gadaa fidee gadaallee oofee ilaa ammatti ittiin jira. Sigaltee kana himuuf yeroo dheeraa fixa yeroon gabaabduudha tanaa kan namtee hanqanumatti isin irraa gabaabsaa galatoomaa ulfaadhaa isin jedha.
Thank you, Master Hassan. Baay'ee galatoomaa harka dhaafi. This is amazing. For me, I grew up here, so this is absolutely amazing to hear. Baay'ee si galateeffannaa Master Hassan. So I'm here. I'm the timekeeper. So dhiifama naa godha yoo dhufe sa'aatii keessan akka dhufe mara. Kanaafi thank you for everyone for using your time on time. So now I would like to invite Najat Hamza. She's going to update us on our current crisis back home and the human rights that we are facing. Najat yeroo kana dhufte waan biyyatti ta'aa jiru haala yeroo kana nutti himti. Kanaafi gurra kennaafi galatoomii harka dhaafi. That's our queen.
Nagaa waluma waan gaafannuuf hin isin gaafadha. Silaa keessa keenya nagaan qabu. For our guests, thank you for coming. We appreciate your presence, and I would be talking a little bit about what has been going on and what my colleagues already have touched base on, but maybe put it a little bit in a context and run through it. So what is going on in Abiy Ahmed's Ethiopia is like something we have never witnessed before, and I can't believe I say this, but it is the truth. It's the level of atrocity and disregard for human life that we have not witnessed in all of 150 years of subjugation. Maybe Milic. He's like the modern day Milic for the Oromo people. I guess while they correct this, what I wanted to say is we're not just people who are crying out to be heard. We are people who are doing everything we can to ensure our survival and also to, fight for what is rightfully ours, our land, our country, our identity, our heritage, just to be human. And that's something that people don't give you. It is something that's bestowed upon you because you are a person. And that's what we are faced with. I know we talk a lot about what is happening to us and how horrible it is, but I want you to know that we are not helpless people. We are doing everything we can. We are pulling our resources worldwide in the diaspora and both at home to give it appropriate response. So the thing that's different, there's 3 different new trends in Abiy's Ethiopia. That is, not only is he subjugating people to unprecedented violence, but he's doing so on a day-to-day basis as a mode of governance. And you can see that in the Guji area, Borana, Hararge, they have been under military occupation since he came to power in 2018. and the arbitrary arrests, disappearances, tortures, harassments of citizens, party leaders, children, just citizens going about their days. And the kind of violence we're talking about is not even singled out. Like the previous regimes attacked people that they felt that was, a threat to their power. What Abiy is doing is just indiscriminately attacking the people to use violence to silence us so that he can realize what most people agree with as delusional idea of him being the seventh king of Ethiopia. Next. These are some of the few opposition leaders, high-level opposition leaders currently languishing in prison. Of course, they have that anti-terrorism proclamation law that they use as a means to kind of slap, a charge of terrorism on their opposition leaders and just kind of use that and put them away. And some of the names here, you recognize. One would be our very own Jawar Muhammad from here, Minnesota, and Bakale Garba and a bunch of others going down the list from both parties, Oromo Federalist Congress and Oromo Liberation Front. What is sad is that almost all of these people wanted to, participate in the Ethiopian, transitional government by peaceful means, by election and, talking to their constituents and whatnot. But that did not stop Abiy from, coming up with these trumped-up charges and putting them behind bars. And they are there now as we speak. How they do that, as I said, there is a new law that was passed in April of this past year called hate speech law. I assure you, it sounds very sexy and, what's wrong about, passing a hate speech law? However, this is not a hate speech law. It's more of a device of control. Like if you post something, your opinion and idea in Facebook, it can cost you 3 years of prison or 10,000 birr or $3,000 US. And so it's a way to silence, dissents and people who peacefully protest against these things, against Abiy, his administration, his ideology, and everything else that he spits out on a daily basis. And the second was to go after the Qeerroo and Qarees, which is the Oromo youth, who actually brought him to power, as you all know, fighting peacefully from 2014 to 2018. They understood the power of the youth. They understood the power of the means of fighting peacefully and the kind of change they were able to bring. And so they immediately rolled out a propaganda, misinformation, machine to vilify Oromo youth. And so therefore, to make it okay for his military personnel and his whole apparatus to attack and kill and arrest our youth as they please. And so we come to the bigger picture now. How is he doing this? Initially, there was words and things that were used to talk about Oromo people and Oromia in general. Words like girisa to mean locust, to refer to Oromo people and those of us who fight for their voices across the diaspora. You would think, oh, this sounds almost funny and we shouldn't care. But it is a language that takes away our humanity. And once you are able to do that psychologically, it's easier to attack, kill, maim, do all of those other things because you're no longer attacking human beings. You are attacking guerrillas for, disrupting his plan. I wanted to do a 72-hour run or the month of October for the youth that we lost in the last 3 to 4 days. These are one of the 5 youths that they gunned down that Aisha has mentioned earlier in her speech. These kids are ages between 20 to 22, and their crime is being an Oromo youth, and the government's justification is that they are a vigilante group out there destabilizing Ethiopia, but we know different. That's how they legitimize taking these youths out, because they are powerful and they use their voice in a powerful way to speak for their people, and they're the vanguard of Oromia and Oromo people, and they know that, and this is what is happening. It's heartbreaking. I am a mother. I have a 13-year-old who was born here. This kid is 7 years away from that, and to gun them down, not only gun them down, but they forbade the community to remove their bodies from the street. And it was just this morning or something like that was allowed to even remove their bodies. These are the kind of trauma, pain, and heartache we're talking about. That was in Nakamte, so that's like in the western side, and this is Awal, and he was killed on October 11. He's a teenager, as you can see. He loved dancing, he loved who he was, and he's from Robe town in RC area, and he's no longer with us. And this kid was actually killed on camera. We have videos of him dying on camera, and that's the level of impunity and carelessness against human life that we're talking about. They didn't even care that they're being filmed alive, and they just shut these youth down, something that we look at as our future, because children are our future. And in other healthy countries, we invest in our youth, maybe not enough, but we invest in them. In Ethiopia's, in Abiy's Ethiopia, they are the threat to his power, so they die. These are the previous one you saw. These are the five that died in Nakamte, and these are the two from that group. And this is this morning. This is what came through when I woke up this morning from my phone. In Awadai, his name is Fahmi Abdi Jamal, and he was gunned down this morning in Awadai city, in Hararge, Oromia. That's like a half an hour away from the city that I come from. And we don't know what he has done. It's just, to exist is a problem right now as an Oromo people. When you look at this level of trauma, you think we can't do anything about it. It makes you helpless, but we can't let that happen. We have to fight, and we ask all of our friends who believe in human rights and humanity to stand with the Oromo people, and not only Oromo people, the Sidamas, the Walaitas, Somali, everybody is suffering under Abiy. We just happen to focus on the Oromo cause at this very moment. So the other disturbing trend is the attack on women. And he's using rape as a weapon of war. All of his military men are raping women as young as 7 and 8 and 9. And they flat out deny it, even though the victims are coming out in drones. For the first time, a group of women came out in drones to protest against Abiy administration, starting in Awadai city, the previous city where they killed the kid at. And this is where we are at right now. This is the case of Bontu Jowar. She was killed also on the same day as Awal did, on October 11th. And at the time of her murder, she was 7 months pregnant. And finally, I'll finish. Finally, there are additional crackdown on the diaspora using flaws in the Facebook and social media, community standards to silence those of us who speak against or expose what is happening in Ethiopia. They have gathered a group of drones who report certain personalities on social media and take out, or block their accounts. So if you think Abiy's hands is long in Ethiopia, think again, it's even trying to reach here in a safe place where we run away from, to be a voice for our people. And thank you for listening to me, and please don't give up, and we can't give up on these people ever.
Thank you, Najat. Arkada fi Amasi. Please give us a clap. Thank you. We are going timely. We appreciate your time management. Baay'ee galatoma. Sa'aatii keenyan deemaa jirra. So I'm doing a very good job. Just remember to put your mask on. Just a reminder, I need to be example, so I was told to be example. So by Igalatoma, this time I would like to invite Amina Dedefo. She will talk to us the importance of politics or participation in politics or office or voting.
Good evening, everyone. You all look excited and happy. I can see it in your faces. It's really beautiful to be here, especially now during a time, in a crisis, in a world pandemic. So it's beautiful to see our elected officials, our religious leaders, our community members, everyone together celebrating one another. So thank you all so much for being here. My name is Amina Dedefo, and what an inspiring Saturday to have the privilege to spend it with you this evening. It's such an honor to home with you, my community, and my reasons for my personal strength. Many of us are here for many reasons, and I know we gather in a time of great devastation and existing during a global pandemic. I am inspired by your willingness to remain resilient and continue to be amongst your community members and celebrate one another. First, I want to acknowledge the lives we've lost both to COVID-19 and political turmoil. I understand that we are together because we understand each other's history and future aspirations. For many of us in this room, there's a lot at stake both here and abroad for our loved ones. We know the courage and strength it takes to remain hopeful, persistent, despite daily emotional struggles. I'm a proud Oromo American. I was forced to leave Ethiopia due to political oppression. Growing up, I understood the importance of political participation and representation. It's vital we not only understand its importance, but live every day to protect it. I am a believer in the people. To me, politics is about the people. It's about our neighbors. It's about our loved ones. It's about you guys. It's about me. In Minnesota, we have the largest Oromo community in the nation. Our community has made Minnesota their home and sanctuary. We've been active in grassroots organizing, engaging our representatives, and advocating for human rights in Oromia, Ethiopia. We understand our collective power and our love for Minnesota, a nation we've made our home. Political participation and representation are the foundation of a representative democracy and our society. It's important that we have leaders who are genuinely interested in service and the betterment of our community. That is why it's crucial to me that we have a conversation today about why it's important to turn out the vote in our community and create an environment of political participation, not just during the election cycles, but everyday participation in preserving our democracy. Here's why it's important we get involved and exercise our right to vote. By being involved in our politics, we can impact issues that concern our communities. By being involved in our politics, we can push for people that share our everyday struggles and understand our needs. By being involved in our politics, we can exercise one of the fundamental rights and freedoms many people died fighting for. Political representation is one of the most essential things to creating a just and fair society. A society where our Black and brown children could look on the TV and aspire to achieve and dream bigger than ever because they can see themselves in the people that represent them. Most importantly, to have political representation, we must be involved in our continuous fight to preserving our democracy and future. We must fight for human rights both here and our previous home, Oromia, and for the issues that we hold dear to our hearts. So let's all get involved, stay engaged, and always be led by radical love for our communities and our neighbors. Thank you so much and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Amina. Give us applause. Give her applause. It's so good to see young people rising up in our community, especially because we don't have a lot that involved in politics. So we're slowly coming. Thank you for your support, officials. Thank you.
Galatoma isin jedhanitti mata dureen walalootiyyaa. Jirtanii qeerroof qarreen motorri qabsoo sabaa gurra keessan naaf laata ergaa gabaabduu qaba. Dhiiraaf dubartiin baatee kan qabsoodhaaf cichitee kan iyyitee lallabdee hafuurri kee sicitee kan biyya ormaatitti jireenya kee madaksee kan gufuuf dhiibbaan jiru hamilee kan kee cabsee cinqiif dhiibbaan kumoota hunda isaatu darbitee dhibeef cabiinsa lammii xiinxalluudhaan argitee Oromiyaa fagaattee biyya ormaallee teettu qalbiin tantee yoomiyyuu bashannantee hin beektu. Qaamni kee kan biyyaa quuqee si dhukkubnaan dhiigni obbolaa keetii madaa sitti uumnaan ooltee karaa bultee akka maraattuutti lallabataa turte. Oromoon umaaraa addunyaa dhagayi deeggarsan kennini uggurarra kaayi beela lammii kiyyaan isin kadhatanii qomoo koo fixaaran qawwee hidhatanii qomoo koo fixaaran qawwee hidhatanii kan kaabaa kan kibbaa si haa nyaatu garaa haala suukaneessaan sabni koo dhumaara haala suukaneessaan sabni koo dhumaara. Hacee ajjeesanii qe'een ona bultee hayyoota hidhanii onneen nukututtee jettee dhihaabarii iyyitee lallabaa faajjii bilisummaa Oromoon qabaa wareega kennuudhaan daandii qabsoo baaftee firii milkii qabu dhalootaaf facaaftee mallaqa sassaabdee miidiyaa banuudhaan rakkataa biyya kee mil'attee arguudhaan rakkattoota danuu rakkinnaa baafteerta ilmaan Oromootii dachaadhaan xaafteerta galatoomisii jedha. Amma itti aansuun dhaamsa dhaamuu fedha obsaan na caqasaa gabaabsee waa jedha. Imaanaanuu eeggadhaa waadaa gaafa wareegaa kaayyoo qeerroodhaaf qarree kan ganamaa san eegaa. Galma gootni kaleessaa ijaara hin diiginaa kottaa wajjin imallaa kophaa kophaan fiiginaa kottaa wajjin imallaa kophaa kophaan fiiginaa. Saba duubaan hiriiraa fedhii lammii leellisaa tokkummaadhaan imala santu nu ceesisiisaa tokkummaadhaan imala santu nu ceesisiisaa. Awwaara gaafa bonaa duumessa gaafa gannaa hubaaf quuqaa kaleessaa sammuu kamiin dagannaa hubaaf quuqaa kaleessaa sammuu kamiin dagannaa. Buutiif bofnillee takka waan gaarii nu hin biifu dukkanni dukkanumaa isa tokkoof dhaamee isa tokkoof ifu dukkanni dukkanumaa isa tokkoof dhaamee isa tokkoof ifu. Riqicha gootonni ijaaran irra imallee dhufne isaantu nuuf ijaare gaaddisa dhufeen dhufne dhugaaf duudhaa ta'anii ilmaan Oromoodhaatiif wareegama laatanii barruu seenaa irratti dhalee guduunfatanii bara dhufuuf dabu dhalootaan waamamanii kan silaaloon ilmatee aannan itichuu dhugu qabsoof jecha buqqa'ee faca'ee akka baallee dhuggu. Nutis dhaloonni ammaa kana dagachuun qabnu hanga lubbuun jirrutti kaayoo gootaarraan dabnu hanga lubbuun jirrutti kaayoo gootaarraan dabnu. Maddi tokkummaa keenyaa bu'uura Oromummaadha. Amantiif ilaalchi kun hunduu dhuunfaadha. Isa feete dhiisii isa feete deeggari gaafa tokkummaaf xiiqii saba kee tarree gari gaafa tokkummaaf xiiqii saba kee tarree gari. Oromoo seenaa kaleessa daree qajeelchuun kee dirqama balfaan diinisiin tuqe aarsaa keetiin dhiqama. Namni mana tokko jaaru citaa waliin saamu dafnee waliin tumsinee karaa tokko haa yaanu dafnee waliin tumsinee karaa tokko haa yaanu. fi Arsiin Harargee fi Wallagga dhiigaan Oromoodha galmi keenya takka. Oromoon Booranaa kan Iluu Karrayyuu Walloof warri Gujii ilmaan xabboo dhalatte bari ijoollee kushi. Waaqa gaafa qabsaa'ee barbaadeef hin qabsoofne lafeen ilmoo qilxuu Harargeef hin bulloofne Maammoo Mazammir Taaddasaa Birruu Huseen Jiree Biqiltuu Galtii Addaan hin baane sababa amantii. Oromoo tokko taate hiddaan gadi dhaabuudhaaf dhara dawoo dhoorganii galma dhugaa ijaaruudhaaf kan Haaji Aadam Saaddoo iccitii liqimsiise kaayyoon eebbisaa addunyaa dhuga isaa firfirsiise hawwii bilisummaati kan nama dhibuu miti. Hawwii bilisummaati barbaacha haqaati. Kutaaleen Oromoo maqaa quubsumaati kan tokko nu taasisu bu'uura eenyummaati. Qeerroo kana beekii tokkummaa kee cimsi qaroo Oromootaa hidhaarraa nuuf baasi galma kan kee tiksi.
Hello everyone, my name is Jamal Osman. I'm the new council member for Ward 6 in the heart of Minneapolis. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. Such a wonderful event and beautiful people here tonight. I do want to mention that the struggle our Oromo community is going through, it's not just them. We are all going through the same struggle with them. So I want to make sure in my office, in the City Council in Minneapolis, we can do whatever we can to stop the injustice happening to our people of Oromia. Here in Minneapolis, we are honored to have the largest East African community in Minneapolis. For that being said, in our office of Ward 6, for the first time, we have a representation for the Oromo community. So please let me welcome Hamdia Abdullahi. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hamdia Nanjani. Jamal Osman, City Council member for Ward 6. Wajin dalaga isin wani inni asnakaif akani isin gargarsa akka qabatan ani nama Oromoti nama represent isin garuu danda'u inninis nama Somaaleeti akka isin akka gargaarsa keessan akka hin dhabne asiin jira jechuu kiyya.
Involved in our communities that are involved in politics. So we need to support her and him and whoever is running. Ijoollee teenya ol deemaa jiranii poolitikaa keessatti yookaan immoo bakka qondaaltummaa yookaan bulchiinsaa keessatti qooda fudhachaa jiranii hedduu bira dhaabachuu qabna harkadhaa fi ammas damiiladhaa fi akkasuma immoo warri amma harka baastanii ishee gargaaruudhaa fi duubatti itti haasa'uu dandeessu. Amma immoo yeroo itti warra ofiishaloota keenyaa fi kennaa kennuunu yeroo kuni. Right now we are moving into present you a gift of thank you and appreciation for your support and solidarity. We have a few or a couple from of representatives that was not able to be here, but we have their representatives. So right now I'm gonna call presenters or gift givers. Adelela, warra kennaa kennanii waama Adelela, Adedule, Adesafo, Adegaribe. So for our officials, when you come or when we call your name, please come this way, get your gift, exit this way. Come in the left, exit in the right. Thank you. Okay. So thank you very much. So not to be biased, we're going to start from our congresswomen and women and representative women that are in our office. We're not biased, we're just give them a head. So right now, Congresswoman Ilhan was not able to be here, so but we're gonna move into U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar or her representatives, Gammachis and Beirut. I hope I say it right. Gammachis and Beirut will come and get the gift for Amy or our U.S. Senate. He said he's Amy for tonight.
We have a letter that we brought from the senator to read.
Sure. They said they have a word for us to read or say, so I'll give them a.
Thank you so much. My name is Gammachis Boko, or otherwise known as Birra Mohammed. I work for Senator Klobuchar as a constituent advocate, and I handle a lot of her casework that comes through from any one of you actually relating to either immigration, social security, healthcare, small businesses, and everything that actually ends up supporting our community and all of you guys here. Unfortunately, the senator could not be here today, so we are here instead of her. And as they said, just know that. We do have a letter that she wrote, and I'm going to give some time for Beirut to actually read that. And thank you for having us all here.
Hello everyone, my name is Beirut Abafogi. I'm here on behalf of our Senator Amy Klobuchar. I'm going to be reading you the letter that she wrote. Dear friends, thank you for the kind invitation to attend today's appreciation dinner hosted by the Oromo women of Minnesota. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the Oromo community living in Minnesota for its efforts to promote unity, encourage peace, and share unique cultural practices. Diversity in thought, culture, and tradition represents a cornerstone of our nation's great history. Minnesota is home to one of the largest Ethiopian ethnic group, the Oromo, in our country. Each person in today's audience has contributed to thriving businesses, led an empowering religious groups, taught a new generation of students, or enriched the cultural, economic vitality of our state. While it hasn't been easy and there are many obstacles along the way, today you should feel proud of the progress you have made to heal and rebuild your nation. Like many of you, I am the proud granddaughter of immigrants. My grandfather came to Minnesota from Slovenia to build a new life. While representing all of you in Washington, I am encouraged by my memories of his hard work. As we move forward, I remain committed to ensuring we have policies that strengthen the ties between the U.S. and Ethiopia and help people of both countries. Together, we will ensure the continuation of Minnesota and Oromo's prosperity. Thank you again for your invitation. I hope all of you enjoy the celebration, and I look forward to witnessing the success of Oromos for generations to come. I'm proud to serve you in the United States Senate. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Please pass our appreciation to her too. We're gonna right now. We're gonna call. U.S. Senator, our beloved and supporter, always long time friend, that he always stood by us, always voice our voice, always speak up, always write letter. There's sometimes no word to explain, no word to say. Senator John Hoffman. Welcome.
All right, Dr. Absa.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna extend my time that you had that they should have given you. I'm gonna use up all the time. How much time do I have?
You're testing me now.
In 2014, 2 newly elected senators walked out in front of the Capitol in St. Paul and witnessed peaceful protesting occurring in front of our state capitol. People sitting there, people standing there, people rising up, people staying there the whole weekend because of the human rights violation that occurred in this little unknown country that, well, I had no idea had so much human rights violations, Ethiopia. Fong, do you remember that moment? And it dawned on me that not only were these folks that were in front of the state capitol peacefully protesting their God-given right in the state of Minnesota, but it found out that I happened to know a whole bunch of people that were in that crowd and realized that the people that were protesting were friends of mine, neighbors, and now known as family. And it's still, here we are in 2020, and the same thing is happening again. And so that's what led us to the first resolution in 2014 when we said to the nation of Ethiopia, stop hurting people. And we had to do it again in 2020. Only this time, it's worse. And I want to tell you what prompted us in 2014, when you have 85 college students who are minding their own business, doing what we can do right here in Brooklyn Center, in Brooklyn Park, and in Minnesota, and not have to worry about us losing our life. 85 college students peacefully protesting for human rights, and they were shot. That is still in me, because I'm going to tell you why it became part of me. My grandfather tells the story of the night in Odessa, Russia, when all said they had to leave. They had to leave Odessa. They had to get up and they had to go. And they got into a boat, went through the Black Sea, came over to the United States, and literally threw their wigs into the ocean and forgot about where they came from. And I never knew this until it was later in life. And he watched his own family, some get killed. And it dawned on me, it's like, that's wrong. I saw the pain in my grandpa's eyes later on in life. And I saw the same pain in the people that I know from Brooklyn Park, Champlin, Coon Rapids, Brooklyn Center, the people that are from Minnesota, that day in front of the Capitol. And so at that moment, I committed myself to be not only your friend, your family, but there for you every step of the way, because this is about you. This is about your family. Jamila, you said it right. This is not about you. This is about everybody else. And that's exactly what we're here for. Just give me 2 more seconds. I swear to God, I tell you. Because there's 2 things that came out of what I listened to today. Fair and just, freedom and justice, radical love. Amina, you said radical love for community and neighbor. Well, if that means for us sitting here and standing up and voting, that's radical love for our neighbor. Get out, get your neighbors to vote, get your family to vote. Do not sit home this time. November 3rd, we need victory, because we cannot have what is happening over in Ethiopia happen here in the United States. And that scares the hell out of me, you guys, because this is the most important election. Fong, we said this in 2012 when you and I first got elected. We said it in 2016. Only this time, this is the most important election of our lifetime, and it's happening in 10 days. Do I have your commitment that you will go out there and go and vote? And here's what it gets, and then I'm going to get going because I'm getting the hook here. Martin Luther King, the whole time I'm sitting here, I'm thinking of what Martin Luther King said, and he said, it is not possible to be in favor of justice for some people and not be in favor of justice for all people. Does that ring a bell, folks? And let's do this one more time. He said, the time is always right to do what is right. Now is the time to do what is right. Let's do this together. I will be there with you, for you, and about you until I am no longer, actually, even if I'm not a senator, I'm still going to be here because you are my friends, my neighbors, and my family. I love you, and you know what? I love this flag, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Senator John Hoffman. Give him a hand. Give him a big hand again. So with that, we wanted to invite everyone to vote for him. He's running for office again. So support the godani amas election idam dima jirawan te ibradabada. Thank you so much again. We are so grateful to have a friend like you. Always grateful. So right now we're going to move to Senator Fong. He's a very supportive of ours, stands with us around St. Paul area. He's our friend, longtime friend again. So welcome.
Wow, what an honor. Thank you so much for this. On a less serious note, I always tease with my Oromoo friend that I'm Oromoo. And I heard of the Oromoo community for years, probably over 30 years already. I have a coworker working with me at the Minnesota Council nonprofit then. And later on, when I campaigned in 2012, I got to know Mr. Abraham and also Dr. Adujali, Tashite, Dr. Hassan, and whole gamut, Farhan. I know quite a large number of you. And so I hear so much about Oromoo. It touched my heart, and I want to go there one day. I want to go there one day with all of you. I hear so much, it almost feels like it's my homeland as well. And I will stand by with you. I have been working in partnership with Tashite, bring economic dollars to NDC. I also work with Jean Gallego to bring economic development to build the east side St. Paul, for the Horn of Africa as well. And I also work with Farhan, to help shed some light on establishing the Oromoo Chamber of Commerce. So that's my little history, that I have with the Oromoo community. But most important of all, I will never stand down when it comes to human rights, and will stand with you. When it comes to international issue and we're far apart, sometimes we're not informed on international issue. And I have to do my own research. And even though based on that tough research, all I need to do is just ask my Somali neighbor, has the Oromoo people been treated unfairly? They say yes. And I ask my other East African neighbors, and they say the same. And that already concurs that I will have to be stand next to you. Not just that, my Oromoo, you are my friends, and most important of all, you are Minnesotan, Oromoo Minnesotan. Lastly, I want to say that please vote for my friend John Hoffman. Broken Park, Broken Center, Champlain is Oromoo Minnesotan. So we cannot let him fade away here. He's my brother in the Senate, so I'm counting on all of you. I know that some of you live in St. Paul East Side. I'm counting on those of you who live in St. Paul East Side, but I'm counting more for you because the majority of you live on this side of the town. So please make sure that he does not fade away and win again. So I'm looking forward to serving him. One last word, and I want to try this. A friend of mine wrote this for me. He said he wrote it for me to say, Ani Muraka Hakanama Fike Duma Famata. Famata! Thank you. Kalatoma.
Thank you, Senator Fong. We're here, we're supportive, and thank you for standing in solidarity with us. And now we would like to recognize and say thank you to the Office of Sheriff David Hutchinson. So we're gonna call Representative Willis Stephen Abdi to be here and accept our Sheriff David Hutchinson office and his officers and all the police are supportive of us, and they always are in our guard, and they help us, especially this summer when we have a protest. They send police, and we are so grateful, and thank you.
First of all, that's a pretty tough act to follow between those two. At least we're all the same height. First of all, thank you for inviting us. Sorry that the sheriff couldn't be here tonight, but obviously we know he's busy. So Abdi and Steve and us are very grateful that you invited us to meet everybody and enjoy this festivities. Not much of a talker or anything like that, but I just wanted to say the last 2 years of being part of the community outreach, we at the Sheriff's Department have learned so much about our community, the Oromo community, and we've held several workshops, youth workshops, and it's amazing the kids that come to the workshops who express their opinions. They want to know what's going on in the world. They want to know what's going on in the Sheriff's Department, and it's our job to be educated by you guys. For us to have a better community, we need to be educated by who's in our community, not us trying to put everything on that we know on you. And that was my goal when I first took over the unit, and that still is my goal, because I think every day we learn something new, and we appreciate you inviting us in your community, inviting us to your events, and hopefully we keep learning and we keep doing better, and I can promise you we're going to keep you safe. So thanks a lot. Abdi?
Good job. So, Oromo community is the best community to work with. They always come on time. They are very respectful. And I'm not kidding. I'm very serious. And I remember I hosted a workshop, the first Oromo youth meeting with the sheriff, and some of them were sweating. They couldn't come to the table. They afraid law enforcement because I know the background they have, where they come from, the government they grow up with. Because of that, I think it opened my eyes to connect it and work with Oromo community more. Even though we are all East African, but I think, to be honest with you, Oromo community always, anytime I call, they answer the phone. Anytime I host the workshop, they come on time. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I think what I find out later on is I study Gadda. I learn Gadda culture. It's the best culture too. So those elected officials should learn Gadda culture. It is really, also I find out Oromo have a history before even African, European colonized in Africa. They have their own culture, they have their own government, like Native American. So Oromo was a nation before even 1884. So I have great respect for you. Please keep working hard. Also, please come and participate and get a job from the law enforcement. Don't afraid. This is your country. Yeah. Whatever he said, I agree with him. All right, thank you.
Thank you again. Please pass our gratefulness to Sheriff David Hutchinson. Thank you again. In light of Gada, those sticks stands for represent our Gada system. It's very important, significant in our Gada system. So please hold it dearly to you and remember Oromo. And also, we would like to recognize Paul from Union. And he's very supportive of us. Thank you so much, Paul.
was it?
Can you interpret for me? Mine is really so short.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so my name is Paul Slattery, and I am here as a representative of the Teamsters Union. I was first introduced to the Oromo community through Fuad Osman. He is the international organizer for the Teamsters, and he. Okay, so will you interpret this part? I'm just gonna.
Oh, do you want me? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so she's going to help me with interpreting. So the first way I got connected with the community was through the Oromo Sports Federation North America through the soccer tournament.
Yeroon dura Oromoo waliin wal bare karaa Osfaanaa yookaan inni bakka saakarii yookaan bakka kubbaa miilaa yookaan karaa kubbaa miilaa taphaati.
And then later after that we started to work politically with the community, connecting and educating politicians about the Oromo community.
Samboda walitti dhufnee waa'ee siyaasaa yookaan politikaa waliin haasa'uu waliin barachuu jalqabne.
And this year, when we had the opportunity to endorse our first Oromo leader, Jamila Mame, we did so immediately.
Baranammo Jamila Mameni yeroo politika keessa yookaan in ofiisaa fi fiiguu jalqabdee dura dafnee akka ishee gargaaruuf kaanee ishee gargaarre.
But what I really want to say most of all from my heart is that when I got the opportunity to come before you, I was humbled and honored because as a community, once I got to know you all, the community has given me nothing but kindness and respect.
Ergan hawaasa keessan baradhee isin gidduu dhufuu jalqabee onnee koo keessa baay'ee isin galateeffadha. Kabajaan isinii qaba. Hedduu isinitti dhiyaachuu kooti isinii baruu kooti fi hedduu nan gammada.
Thank you, and I look forward to working with you for years to come.
Baay'ee galatooma yeroo dheeraa waliin hojjenna jedheen abdii qaba. Thank you, Paul, again for your support, and we are grateful to have a friend like you too. So we wanted to recognize that we did invite some of our officials, so they were not able to make it for today. So for example, we did invite or was hoping to have our Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, our Speaker of the House Melissa Hartman. We were hoping to have Representative Mohammed Noor. They were not able to make it, but we're grateful and thankful for their support. Right now, after this, Ifama, warra asitti dhufuu hin dandeenye maqaa dhoofne isaanis galateeffachuu barbaannaa irra dhufuu hin dandeenye Ilhaan Umar House Speaker Melissa Hartman, Representative Mohammed Noor irra dhufu jennee abdii goonee turre nu gidduutti argamuu hin dandeenye garuu galateeffachuu barbaannaa baay'ee harka dhaatii nu galateeffadha. Galatooma ammoo yeroo kana Kadiroo fi Kadir Saidii fi Daawitiin bakka kanatti waama waan nu qaban immoo natti.
Jirtu as geenye jabaadha. As geenye jabaadha. Hibbo Ibbakataati rabbi biraataati kallachi qabsoo Oromoo naa beeka. Ha? Me? زلا فالمتا بابو يا فاجي فالمتا بابو بابو إفزاغرا ولا بمالوغا ملسا بلسماكا كل جورو موتا سيكوفا ولا بماتي يتين ندكا غبرو ما في ميدا جاراتو كوفتوري هيدام فونكول چيدي دبروف غاما كيلي ديدا غبرو ماتي غبسون سي بيكيلي ديغا غوتو تاتين لليسي سيتولي دوسكان اوروموتا فونكول چا غبرو ما كولوكاتا اوروميا تمورا ديماما إفساخرا ولا بمادوغا ملسا بلسماكا كالجا أوروموتا سيكوبا ولا بماتي يتين ندكا وغنا أورومو بيجوغا بساوتا بيفلي بلسما دري مرتي غوتا دابكو ولابا كان كام نديتبا كارا كان كيكوبا كان كام نديتبا فاجي كجلاتي هيرانو هندي ولا بوما كينيا زيكوفانو عبدي إبزاخرا ولا بوما دوغا ملسا بلسماكا كالجا أوروموتا سيكوفا ولا بوما تياتين ندكا أورومو أوروميا أورومو إنجارمتي لا لا أوروموتا أبوكا چاتورتي كابسوم مالكمتي مالكان دردرتي غوچان معلوماكي إفامير كمفتي غدام إيسا كابسو إلمان أوروموتا كراكي كفاتو غلافنو دهاتا ديغا كنغونا ديغا لفتو تينا ديغا جينو تميكا ترب دنگلا فامي لبو ميكا في ميكا تي ترب وريغا مي إفين دردبسي سينا آباهون انديغا مو لفيغو تا ديغا تيني جارمي Dirabu ya murti dada waki dage sisi tunta duren gargari ni dage isani garta marrona dage sisi ingena dage sisi sanyina dage sisi keirona dage sisi wabona dage sisi oromo dage sisi biya bankam ne sete ti fadda yunu lalatte arras no gadi matte asirata rawatu hoyo beisi obasi digandi gade basi walga badala mi gode bisaga vitana walga badala mi gode bisaga vitana yubiyati badatu tanjara chaltu jitu oromia dagamna humna namatistana rabbib galanna gaywa kabiyeti kamna namadunde muskeiro mega bi mega kamna asirata rawatu yo beisi ho basi digandi gade basi aye gavi mirgati gavi baratonni gafatu bilisumma da gavi jolle gafacha jirtu gavi gairada gavi abbam biya gafatu dimshashu matti gafi birmadumma biyati diga malende bitu roga hunda binisa barayu boyum fafa kharaja btena yoftu gote buna jaba duga fi mirga binisi ebonke tu kaweda ka ada ke duriti hida duti tigamsi manjange tu kaweda jillai banduti darbi ittibuti bachumati bachasi gumajali janango fi armamura anole khanuma khaisa basi Jalanko ya jalan kapso wahelan jirenya ko Jalanko ya jalan kapso wahelan jirenya ko walabdi wali kapso ina waliram baganurako walabdi wali kapso ina waliram baganurako madoko tinabata kanidiga kollagane yundu esna awalata kaniref ka kondarbine guma khenya wali hordofna akadini kenyam banne senani nafne guma khenya wali hordofna akadini kenyam banne senani nafne
Galatoomaa hundi keessanuu awwalli isaa akka namicha kana ijala wargeen beeku ningeera ranaa dhaabadhu naan jedhee waardiyaa isaan ture fayyaaf nagaa qabaadhaa injifannoon kan uummata Oromooti naa dhaabbadhu naan jennaan as dhufe malee awwalli sun ija laaffata namichi kun ija laaffati kana.
Oromo TV, Oromo TV.